guys, welcome to another episode of Smash JT. In this episode, Smash and Smash Jr. Can you say hi, Smash Jr.? We're going to take a look at the Nintendo Labo, what you need to know about it before you buy. Smash JT. When Nintendo first announced the Labo, I was pumped about it. This is something that is perfect for me and my son to be putting together as kind of like a family event. And my son, how old are you, Smash Jr.?
I'm just 4.
You're just 4? I thought you were 5.
But I'm almost 5.
You're almost 5? In 2 weeks. And I figured, you know, for an almost 5-year-old, the Nintendo Labo would be perfect. But I was a little bit wrong. As far as the Nintendo Labo is concerned, each part of these projects that you'll be putting together involves a bit of intricacy to it. And if your kid is a little bit too young, you're probably going to find yourself putting the whole thing together. I will admit that while putting these kits together by myself for the most part, it was sort of a weird form of mental time travel, giving me visions of what it felt like as a kid putting Lego towns together. Many people are comparing the Labo experience to building Legos, and having a strict follow the directions kind of rules, I could see what they're talking about. Unlike the Legos, however, Labo directions must be followed exactly, or else the device will not come together or work properly. Whereas Legos allow far more freedom and creativity, and doesn't necessarily have to follow the building instructions to the T to still get the maximum enjoyment out of playing with it when it's complete. An adult assisting is almost going to be required if the project is going to be completed without any errors by kids under the age of 10. Here's a breakdown of how long each project took me to complete, with some notes I've made alongside, and with what games are best for which ages. Alright, so starting off with the RC Bug car, this one took about 10 minutes to put together, and it definitely needs to be used on a hard surface to actually be functional. It's not going to work on carpeted homes. It works well enough, but it's more of a novelty. I'd rather have a real RC car. Suggested assembly ages, 4 years old plus with adult supervision, or older than the age of 7 without adult supervision. Suggested gamer age, anyone over the age of 5 is perfectly fine with this. Next up from the variety kit is the fishing pole and fish tank. This one took me just shy of 2 hours to complete putting it together. It has very accurate motion controls once you start playing it with a 1-to-1 ratio of the movements. I was seriously impressed while playing it. Fairly deep gameplay with reeling in the fish while trying not to have the line snap. Lots of fun. Suggested assembly age, 8 plus with an adult, 10 plus without, and suggested gamer age, anyone over the age of 5 is going to have a blast with this. Next up we have the house, and this one took about 2 hours to complete. Accurate motion controls again with this, ratio with movements was extremely impressive. The side string piece that I was trying to play with adds a teleportation on the sides. It needed to be inserted at an angle to recognize the stickers, which I thought was kind of strange because I put the stickers on perfectly just like the instructions said, and it was still having a few issues. But outside of that minor squabble, this one's a ton of fun, and my kid always seems to gravitate towards playing it. Suggested assembly age, 8 plus with an adult supervision, 12 plus without, because the stickers are absolutely precise when you have to put these things on some of the pieces. And here we arrive at the motorbike, and this is one of my personal favorites. Took about 2 hours to complete. Again, accurate motion controls, 1-to-1 ratio with the movements is extremely impressive. Minor frustration with trying to get the tablet in this one because you have to actually unbuckle the cardboard to be able to slide it in. But by doing that, it keeps it secure, so I understand why they went that direction with it. As far as the game modes, there's a racing mode and a balloon pop mode, and both are extremely fun. Suggested assembly age is anyone over the age of 10 with adult supervision, or over the age of 12 without. Suggested gamer age, anyone over the age of 4 is going to have a blast with this. And last but certainly not least from the variety kit is the piano. This thing is a beast, and it's extremely complex, taking about 3.5 hours uninterrupted to put together. Now it does have accurate motion controls, and the ratio with the movements was very impressive. Some of the keys are too loose, so this one is definitely not ideal for little kids. There's an impressive amount of things you can do with the studio app and creating your own music. The interface and utilization takes some getting used to, especially for the more intricate tunes. but as far as being able to change up the sounds of it and play with it, it's a lot of fun. Suggested assembly age is anyone over the age of 10 with adult supervision, or anyone over the age of 14 without. And even at that point, you may need some adults' help as well. Suggested gamer age, anyone over the age of 8 should be good with this one. And now we've reached the robot kit, and this one was my personal favorite. And it is absolutely gigantic. The approximate size is about 2 by 2 by 2 feet square, and it weighs about 5 to 10 pounds. Now, as far as the intricacy on this one, definitely takes about 3.5 to 4 solid hours of putting it together, and that is without interruptions. There's a lot of tiny pieces in this one, and a lot of strings you need to tie and put into the right places, but once you put it all together, it's so much fun and extremely impressive with the technology they were able to get with just 2 Joy-Cons and the range of motion you're able to do with it. The suggested assembly age is anyone over the age of 10 with adult supervision, or anyone over the age of 14 without adult supervision. Suggested gamer age is anyone over the age of 4 is definitely going to have a blast with the robot kit, but again, this kit definitely gravitates towards older kids. Now let's talk about some pros and cons. As far as the pros are concerned, this game makes for an awesome, fun family night with hours of entertainment. Don't forget, the fun is in the creation just as much as actually playing the games. Now the games are a fun experience as well, especially with high scores in the robot game. It makes for fun entertainment of all ages. It truly feels like a new way to experience competitive arcade gaming. Now let's talk about some cons, shall we? Yes? Don't hit yourself. Now, as far as the cons are concerned, there are some big flaws with this. And when I mean big, I mean it's big. The Labo robot kit is absolutely gigantic. Parts of the variety kit are also fairly large. And my fear is that ultimately a lot of this stuff is going to turn into just another accessory for gaming that gets stuffed in the closet where it gets smashed, destroyed, and ultimately tossed someday. Another thing that's a minor frustration is the gamepad on handheld mode. Makes it more of a single player experience for games like House, Fishing, and Motocross. Oftentimes my 2 kids would find themselves pushing each other out of the way to see the screen when the other one was playing it, unable to put it up on the big screen because of how the Switch works. If you're wondering if you should buy the Labo to enjoy for yourself as an adult, I would advise strongly against that. The only reason I could argue for adults to own the Labo would be for some fun party nights going for a high score with the robot kit. I could imagine that you could get some fun out of this if you had the right group of people together. Ultimately, I did have the most fun with the robot kit, but while playing, it does feel more like a tech demo than an actual game. There are a multitude of game modes, but the complete lack of storyline and typical gameplay progression really holds it back from being something that stands out. Now, if you're like me and you have kids between the ages of 2 and 5, you're definitely going to want to stick to the variety kit. Rest assured, you'll be building these mostly by yourself. The kids at this age typically don't have the attention span to sit around and help put cardboard pieces together a certain way, and after completing assembly, for the most part, each Labo is completely usable by both my 2.5-year-old and my nearly 5-year-old. Now, I'm not sure if I'd trust leaving them alone in the house with the Labo, but if you're there watching them while they're playing with it, it's perfectly fine and suitable for their ages. I do have some concerns of the longevity with the stability of the cardboard over the years, but after heavy usage for a few days, they're still holding up really well. With all that being said, how do we feel about the Labo? It's a perfectly fine alternative to a family game night of a board game or something like that. Everyone contributing to making the project complete really pulls everyone together and makes for a fun experience for anyone between the ages of 7 and 14. Outside of those age ranges, we'll definitely stretch the viability of the projects being put together, but as far as the enjoyment of the games after completion, any kids from age 3 to 16 would be a perfect fit for pretty much every Labo set that you complete, with the variety kit leaning more towards younger kids and the robot kit leaning more towards older kids. But by no means does it mean a 5-year-old can't enjoy their time with the robot, or a 16-year-old wouldn't enjoy their time making custom tunes with the piano. Ultimately, if your life circumstances put you within the age bracket of having kids or family members in those age ranges, definitely go out and buy it. You will have a blast. Outside of that though, definitely steer clear. Anyways, that's all we got for you guys today. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about Nintendo Labo, if you've purchased it or if you plan on buying it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good one. You say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
Not to the camera.
Have a good day. Bye.
Have a good day. Bye. What are you doing?
You do like this. Yep, like that. It's like a stick.
It's like a stick.
Yeah. You try to grab it with your neck. Yes.
I try to grab a stick with your neck. Am I boring you?
I'm just a little bit tired.
You're just a little bit tired?
No, I'm just really long.
You let me know if I'm making you fall asleep here, okay?
Okay.
Am I making you fall asleep here?
Nope.
Not yet? With all that being said, how do we feel about the Labo? It's perfectly fine for a family game night alternative. Putting it together really brings the family as one. Coming together. Really puts it together, really completes the... It's okay. I keep messing up though.
You can try over.
I could try over?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try that again. You like them both?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite one?
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone.
Everyone? You like them all equally?
Yeah, everyone adults.
Every one of those? You love them all?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love you too.
I love you too.